It's easy to think the world's next great tech companies will come from Silicon Valley, New York, or Toronto. But innovators from around the world beg to differ, and I'm out to discover who they are and where they're from. From Addis to Jakarta, from Dakar to Bogota, I'm Dan Herman, and this is their world, our future. Despite being part of North America, Mexico doesn't get treated quite the same as its northern neighbors. Sure, we appreciate its beaches, its tequila, and cheap manufacturing, but the narrative about Mexico tends to be generally downcast at best. And that's a real pity, because with 130 million people, it's the largest Spanish-speaking country in the world and a strategic bridge to Latin America. And it's home to some exceptional technology companies, like SATI Health, a data and analytics startup focused on stress and mental health. Co-founder Dr. Myriam Alanis joined us from their office just south of the US border in Monterrey, Mexico. I learned of you through some connections back in Mexico, and all of a sudden I thought to myself, okay, who is this company in a place that I know nothing about, who's trying to build a competitor to Apple Watch, I think. And so you can correct me, but what are you building at SATI?
Well, first of all, SATI is offering a service. It began offering a service business to companies, which is based in three different stages, we can say. The first one is the wearables, where we are acquiring all the data from people, right? And then there's an application where the people can see all of the data that has been collected along the day, along the weeks. And at last is the dashboard. There's a dashboard in which we offer this to maybe to the chiefs of the company. In this dashboard, they can see which department is with a lot of stress, right? Which department needs more help. Why? Because we were focused first of all in mental health, but mental health with objective data. It's not only about, hey, how are you doing today? Do you feel stressed? Because people is going to tell you, yeah, I'm feeling like so stressful today. And some people are going to tell you, no, of course I'm not stressed at all. But they are stressed, right? The body, it's telling them that they are stressed. So, or they are in distress. So that's why we are getting this data from the wearables, in which we are going to have some algorithms, then the intelligent algorithms, to traduce it into stress. We can prevent people for being in a lot of stress, right? So that's what we are doing actually in SATI.
I did an interview with the founder of a telemedicine company focused on mental health from Thailand, and she was saying, here we actually, there's a stigma around it. In Mexico, is it openly talked about?
No, you don't talk about mental health in Mexico. It's like, no, I'm really good. I don't have a headache, right? It's not about that. I have a stomach ache, and it's not related to my stress. And it's, of course, it's not that easy, right? So that is why SATI is, I think it's very, very important, because it's not about, as I told you in the first place, it's not about cheating the psychologist or the physician. It's okay, this is your data, and this is how your body is feeling. It's not about you only. And actually, it's really interesting to think about the electrocardiogram that is related to your mental health. It's like, no, the mental health, it's only about the brain, right? But the brain is the one that it's orchestrating everything. It's so in this case, in which we have to take your data from the electrocardiogram from your heart and see how is your mental health right now. Exactly. Okay, and this is because in Mexico we are not used to go to the physician unless you are feeling really, really bad. So we are trying actually to change that point of view, in which you have to prevent, you have to take care of yourself before you go to the hospital.
You've worked in universities doing research for many years. What led you to want to kind of leave the classroom or leave the research laboratory to build a startup? Those are two very different worlds.
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. Then now that you mentioned that, it's not that I have abandoned the academic and research, because I like it. I really love to investigate. But there's another turn right there. I became an engineer. I'm an electronics and communications engineer because I like to build. I like to do to work with electronics, with electronic devices, and instead of only trying to be a researcher or investigate to know more about our body or to know more about electronics, it's more about creating something to have a solution, right? So it's apply our knowledge to something. In this case, it's a device, it's a platform, it's about algorithms. So I work with my brother now, which is the CEO, and he told me, "Hey, you know about biomedical engineering? So what can we do with this problem?" And I say, "Okay, let's take the information that we have from ourselves, from our body, and let's make some algorithms to test them."
Now, when I think of Monterrey, near the border of the United States, a lot of the economy has been geared towards, manufacturing and export into the U.S. When someone here in Canada turns on the television, very unfortunately, part of the stress that Mexicans feel is what we see on the news, which is often about some less positive elements of what happens. Are you part of, and are you building a company that's going to be the good news side and kind of to change the perception of how the world sees Mexico?
Yes, of course. Yes, I'd love to do that, because in Mexico, it's not only about bad news. Mexico, it's also about good news. It's also about people that is working, that in the case of SATI, it's people that are working to have a better quality of life, to um, bring this to more people. We are focused right now in Mexicans, yeah, but we would like to spread all this new technology through all the world.
Do you have plans to export?
Yeah, we have actually now some partners that are in Chile, Colombia also, and we are planning also to go into the market of China, right? So yes, we would like to expand this market.
A lot of people would say, "Hey, wait a minute, that looks like the Apple Watch." So, does Tim Cook have to be worried about what you're building?
No, I don't think so, because Apple Watch, well, it's real expensive if you see it in the media on Mexico, right? It's on the average of people that can afford that. It's not affordable for a lot of people in Mexico. We would like that people in Mexico have this device to increase their quality of life.
SATI's focus on stress and mental health hits the nail on the head of one of the world's biggest problems. In the US alone, stress is believed to cost the economy over $300 billion thanks to its impact on absenteeism, employee turnover, decreased productivity, and direct medical costs. Figuring out what triggers that stress and proactively working to reduce it is a potential gold mine, and way more importantly, it's a massive benefit to millions of individuals, be it in Mexico, where Myriam is headquartered, or anywhere else in the world. This is definitely a company to watch for. Hey, thanks for tuning in today. Please press the like button and subscribe to get an update on our next episodes, and I'll see you next time for more of Their World, Our Future.